Welcome everybody to the Believers Club. I'm Harj Tira.
I'm Serena. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. So today we're going to be talking about something that is super important, especially right now. It's finding your passion.
The basis of where the Believers Club started is the journey of us going through life and discovering the love for what we want it to be and what we want to be and what we want to do. So passion is a big one, a very confusing topic, but it's a real thing and it's something that we need to all
You
discover.
need to have it in order to know what you want to do with your life, basically, right? And a lot of people come to us and say, oh, well, you've discovered your passion. You like to help people. Or Serena, you love beauty. And
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. Well, that didn't just come. That didn't just start. That was a journey to uncover that. Right?
Yeah.
So we want to actually help guide you through what that process looks like in discovering what your passion is, right? And we've got a couple of really good pointers, things that we went through and things that we learned.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, Harj can, we literally wrote it down. So we'll go through kind of quickly, give you point form and just kind of what the struggles we might have gone through dealing with each of them. And
and how to start unpacking what your passion is so that you can hit the road and start doing the things and living a life that is fulfilling. Because it's how it's got to be, right? And so in terms of finding your passion, I think the first thing is really, and I fully believe this, is auditing your time and auditing what you do with your time. And when I say that, I mean keep track of where you're investing your energy and what you're doing with it, right? So what do you do in your spare time? Who are you doing it with? Okay. And also, if you're one of those people that spends a lot of time solo, well, what are you researching? When you're on social media, when you're on YouTube, what are you typing in? What are you spending your time watching?
Yeah. There's entertainment. Obviously, we all watch Netflix. We all watch videos that probably aren't helping us discover shit. But there is always attraction that you go towards. There's certain topics that you'll always open up. Like for me, it was watching makeup videos for 2 years prior to me saying, okay, let me do my own video. And Harj can speak to hers and what she searches.
Dude, so when the first thing I did was I figured out where my time was going, and my time was going to doing useless stuff, right? I was just going to work, coming home, and then I would just numb out by watching Netflix series after Netflix series, watching TV, hanging out with friends. And then when I started to think about, well, who am I doing these things with? If I'm not alone, I'm also doing it with other people that have not discovered what their passion is. We're just wasting time together, right? That is something for you to take note of. And once you can actually understand that, then get a little bit deeper. And when you're alone and you're online, what are you researching? So for me, I realized that when I wasn't watching Netflix and I wasn't, just gouging myself in junk TV, I was on YouTube and I gravitated towards watching successful entrepreneurs and artists, music artists, celebrities. And I was so obsessed with their come up story. And I didn't know that this was part of my passion, but I started YouTubing documentaries on Dennis Rodman, right? I was YouTubing documentaries on, Bill Gates and different rappers, even Tory Lanez, all these people who I've seen actually come up, because at the bottom of it, I realized I actually crave a lot of success, and I want to know what these people went through to get there. Right. The thing they always say is they battled a lot of their own insecurities. They battled, that they battled being themselves and uncovering that. So I realized from that point, I'm hold on a second, I definitely love supporting people through conflict. I love learning about people, and I love uncovering their struggles. That makes total sense when it comes to coaching.
Yeah, no, and the basis of it is also happiness. I feel like you'll genuinely have some happiness and deep down when you're doing whatever it is that you're either on the path to discover it to be your passion, or you already know it. There's this genuine happiness that you get from watching videos that give you that information, whatever is feeding your soul. It's just that. And even the environment, I feel like Harj said, talking to her friends and sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but my next point, I was going to attach another point to it, but now I totally kind of lost track. But it was going to be who you're spending the time with, the spare time, and also asking those people what you're good at, what they see you doing, what they always see you. Because sometimes your happiness might not show up in doing what you're doing, but other people see it before you do. So that was going to be my next point. I kind of messed that up there for a minute, but
that's totally okay. So in terms of, that's the second point, ask people what you're good at, right?
Yeah.
when I was trying to figure out what my long-term goals were, like I knew what my goals were, but I didn't necessarily know how I was going to get there or what that was going to look
Yeah.
like. And I had
Yeah.
a hard time um, visualizing what my life looked like in 20, 30 years. So
Yeah.
I called up 5 friends
Mhm.
and I said, hey, listen, I need to know what you see in me. And when I'm around you, like what lights me up?
Yeah.
And each of those people, out of the 5 people, they all said one thing that they had in common. They said, man,
Mm.
like the one thing that really lights you up is when you can help someone or when you can support people. You just kind of know what to say and you love that you can like guide someone through like what they're struggling with. The
Yeah.
thing is, I had one friend that said, every single time we get together, we could be talking about like God knows what, but the thing that will light you up, it always comes back to um, motivating people, finding ways to inspire people, having really deep, meaningful conversations. She's like, it's like a whole other heart comes out. And
Yeah.
that's what you need to be doing. And
Yeah.
so, ask people, don't be afraid because they see what you don't see.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
close to you for a reason. They've seen you in moments that you haven't seen yourself in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you don't see yourself from other people's point of view. You have your own POV about the way you are, the way you're responding throughout your life. So people will tell you real quick what they have thought, what kind of person they think you would have been, or what they've seen you be good at, and where they thought you would be. So it's not that people will lead you to what your passion is going to be, but they will give you a glimpse into your life for you to pick up on pointers to realize, hey, yeah, you're right. Like for me, I was telling Harj, one of my cousins, I asked her and she said, I saw you doing hair, and I've done hair, I've gone to hair school, but I just kind of I never stuck with it. So I kind of let go of that and kind of forgot about the fact that that love was there. And now I'm, back in it again for the last few years, but it's just, that person told me something that I kind of blocked it away and didn't, but they knew that it's always been there. So they've seen it before I even maybe wanted to accept it, or maybe was too lazy to put in the work. So yeah,
Well, that's a good point because you maybe you weren't ready for it at that point, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You weren't ready for
yeah,
change, and you have to make sure that when you ask people, when you sit down and start asking people, I hope that you're in a place that you're prepared to hear what they have to say because it might just scare you. Because the thing is, right? People might assume that you already know what makes you happy because they see you light up whenever
yeah,
you're talking about certain things. They may not know that you don't realize that, right?
yeah,
A good example too is like growing up, Serena has always been someone that we'd call upon to do our hair, to do our makeup, to get us
yeah,
up, right? And so
yeah,
Serena was kind of like, yeah, that's Serena. Serena's the girl that does
yeah,
beauty. But
yeah.
Serena may not have known.
And I didn't for years. I pushed it aside. I dibbled and dabbled in it, but I just pushed it aside, focused on other things but when I got to the point of, miserable at a job, which I mentioned last time, and it got to that point of me coming to that point, I guess, like that pivotal moment to be in that position where I had to decide, like, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? It's such a big question when passion is asked. It's like, it's so much bigger than just the word passion. There's so many attachments,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. Like, so I had to think about all those things, but I knew that, hey, like, I've been wanting to do makeup. And at that point I was watching videos, and like we mentioned that, like, I was watching videos for the last 2-3 years, and I saw other people from my towns and my cities doing it. And I'm like, why am I not, I just wasn't honing into it. But when I was ready, I guess I was ready. And hey, haven't looked back since. So
Yeah.
it was a long road. I can't even show you the other end of my hand, but it was a long road of discovery of my passion. But it was always there. It was always in part of my life. It was always around. It was always within me, but took many years to hone into it. But yeah,
Yeah, and ask the people closest to you because they'll remind you. They'll put it right back in front of you, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And what's really interesting is like, and when you ask them, they may tell you what you're good at, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you love it. So the next point
Mhm.
is figure out whether you're doing something because you're good at it or you're doing something because you actually love it. Because there is a difference between being good at something and loving something.
Great example would be like, I could be working an office job, great with computers, getting the job done, great worker, but I'm not happy doing it. I don't want to, that's not where I see myself in the long run. I don't see myself doing that 30 years from then, or 10 years or 5 years from that point. So that's when, like, I could be good at something, but the love and the passion isn't there for that. And you don't really enjoy it to that level. You're good at it, but that enjoyment, that fulfillment isn't there.
Totally. And you know what? I am someone who, like, when I was in school, so what I enjoy is being around people. I enjoy, motivating people. I enjoy being in like a social environment for the most part.
Mhm.
But um, I went into marketing, right?
Yeah.
What I really wanted to do is go into psychology. but I went into marketing because
Interesting.
first of
Yeah.
all, I didn't think that I was smart enough to become a psychologist, which is like dumb to even think about, right? But it's
But that's part of, yeah, that's another struggle, you know,
I
that's another topic.
we didn't have like courses in psychology in high school for me to even like think that it was possible. But
Mhm.
I went into a marketing class. I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm really good at it, right?
Mhm.
And the issue there was that I became so good at it that I went to school, I graduated, I started working in marketing for different firms, and I realized that what I loved about it was getting the recognition for being good at it. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are in that position where you're so good at the thing that you do that what you love about it is being recognized for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
the ego stroke from being good at something and you're confusing it for being in love with what you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I was for so long. And I was like, wait a second. If I was answering the first few questions in my spare time, do I sit there and learn how to market shit? No. Am I researching like the hottest marketing trends? I only do
Yeah.
that when I'm working and for work
Mhm.
purposes. Um,
Yeah.
if I ask people what lights me up, they never say marketing. They say people, psychology, spirituality, right?
Mhm.
So I realized I'm like, I don't love this. I'm just good at it. So figure that out. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, you can you can love something and learn to be good at it. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't be good at something and learn to love it. You either love something that you don't or you don't.
Yeah. No, that's the, yeah, that's it.
Right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
hear that again. You can learn to be good at something that you love, but you cannot love.
You can't. It needs to be genuine, right? At then, no, it needs to be genuine, and that's kind of what the point is. Like it, you'll know. And the next point that we have is doing something when you'll also realize, like, if you're passionate and you'll do it no matter what, is if you'll do something when there's no monetary value. You're not getting paid for doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
And for me, that was, like I said, started off on YouTube and Instagram. I'm not making any money. I started with my own face, doing makeup looks on my own face, learning, going through, just teaching myself because I couldn't afford to go to makeup school. um that was the beginning process of that. So I wasn't making money, but every night, I remember in 2017, every single day I did a look, every single day, and it was a new look posted regularly. And it was a challenge that I set myself up for. And I remember told myself, like, you're gonna do this. I don't think I probably had 2 clients the whole year, and I was working full time. But that was when I knew, okay, I'm in this in the long run, because I'm not making any money. Yes, of course, that's the goal, but I was doing it without getting any money. But at the same time, I was learning the craft. I was learning what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and my weaknesses and strengths. That those weaknesses ended up turning into strengths from over the period
yeah, and
of putting in the work.
you're getting paid for that, right? And like
Yeah.
if you, let's say money, I know a lot of people are in jobs right now and not discovering their passion because they're so focused on paying the bills. But if money wasn't an issue,
Yeah.
if you didn't have to work for money anymore, what
Yeah.
would you be doing with yourself? What would you be doing with your spare time? If money was no object, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
what would your life be about? Because you can learn to make money in the
Yeah.
thing that you love to do, but we're so
Yep.
focused on that like one stage, right? We're like, I gotta pay off my debt, which is cool, but like on the side, if you can envision your life where you wouldn't have to be in that position, what would you be doing? And people would have these dreams of like, following their hobbies and turning them into passions. And it's like, okay, if you can envision that, then now let's backtrack and figure out a way to take the actionable steps to make that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are just our tips on how to get started in uncovering what it is. So we'll quick rundown. What do you do in your spare time? Who are you doing it with? What are you researching?
Ask people close to you. People will let you know. The closest ones will see it before you do. So definitely ask the people around you.
Ask people what you're good at something versus loving something.
Hmm. And doing something for money. And if you didn't have money, you had money coming out of your events, what would you be doing with their time? And that, I feel like we could probably go on and give you guys more pointers. Maybe we'll come back with part 2 because it's such a big topic. But those would be the key pointers to discovering what you're passionate about and kind of where to hone in.
Absolutely. So we hope
Yeah.
that helped you guys, give you something to think about. Let us know in the comments
Yes.
if that supported you and if you were to like what your breakthroughs were. We want to
And
know.
share your tips with us. If we could always use them too, because we're on this journey with you guys. So yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be
All
back
right.
in the video.
All right. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.